welcome back to today's video. I am so excited. I feel like I say that every time, but we just got done with my 3-part mini series on how to get your real estate license. So from that, some of you have now asked me about the exam. I know everyone seems to like stress over the real estate exam, but it doesn't have to be as scary as you guys think. Trust me. I got through it. Multiple people have gotten through it, and you can too. So let's just jump right into this video and talk about how you can pass your real estate exam and the 4 things that I think you should do that I know helped me get through it. Can seem, I think any test can seem very overwhelming if you don't prepare or kind of think ahead before the process starts. So number 1 thing I'm going to say is create a strong study plan. There are multiple resources and tools that are going to be available to you to make this happen. And everyone learns differently. For me, I am a hands-on visual person. So as I talked about in a previous video, which I will have linked up here, is picking your real estate school. I chose one that fit my schedule, and I wasn't only learning online, but I also had that in-person interaction because I need to be interacting. I can't just read something and go, poof, I got it. Like, that's not me. I don't retain it. I have to physically be doing it. So that was already a thought in my mind before I even picked what school I was gonna do. Now, obviously within your studies, you're gonna get your books, you're gonna have online resources. There is so much, even on YouTube, guys. Obviously you're here because you are wanting to learn and get more information. When I was in real estate school, one thing that really prompted and helped me get through my actual real estate exam was a little handy tool called Prep Agent. Prep Agent is a YouTube channel. I will actually have it linked for you guys so you can see. He also has a Facebook page that has a whole group of everybody who is going through the same thing that you are. There's so many ways he breaks down these videos, he breaks down acronyms, he breaks down information in ways for you to be able to retain it and organize it better in your head so you can remember. I know for me personally, I use this tool. It was not attached to my real estate school. It had nothing to do with anything. I was able to find this resource all on my own, and I found so much added value for myself. And I think it's a perfect tool to utilize when you are creating your study plan for your real estate exam. There are paid versions and there are non-paid versions. He offers as much information and as much help as you need. And I think that is awesome. And the fact that they have the Facebook community page to where you can like talk to other people, because your study partner or your accountability partner, anybody you choose to do these things with, doesn't have to be somebody in class. Like, what if you chose to do fully online? Then you're not meeting people or talking to an instructor in person. So that is another helpful tool from Prep Agent, is having that community and being able to reach out to others, again, who are going through the exact same thing that you are. One more thing I can express strongly recommend is review. We cannot go through it enough. Always be reviewing, always keep trying to retain the information because it is going to be a lot of information in a short amount of time. For me as well, like breaking it up into, okay, you're gonna learn about this, you're gonna learn about this, and it's just gonna be everywhere. So I would categorize everything and then break it down into my days, break it down into my studies so that I'm not going, okay, I'm studying this and then I'm gonna jump over here, and then like, I don't wanna be all over the place personally. Pretty sure you probably don't either. But I know for me, breaking it down into categories and then breaking it down on my calendar visually helped me also study and prepare and get me through the course because, like I said, guys, it's a ton of information in a short amount of time. Okay, guys, the number 2 thing that I want to point out may seem kind of silly, but it's not, is stop stressing. Yeah, you heard me. This is the thing. Stop stressing about it. I don't know how many people, well, I mean, I've heard it. I mean, you guys were saying it in my last videos. You guys have stressed over, oh my gosh, it's a test, it's a test. I remember that anxiety when I was in high school or college. Like, you're stressing about a test. I mean, how many times did you stay up till midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, or maybe didn't even go to sleep the night before a test because you were stressing so bad about it? This is no different, guys. Just because you're an adult or just because you're, you're still gonna have that. It's gonna come. So I'm telling you right now, stop it. Along with the stressing, people are like, oh my gosh, what if I have to take it multiple times? What if I don't pass the state? What if I don't pass the federal? What if I only pass one? Your worries and your stresses are gonna go on and on. So what I can tell you is just, again, stop it. No client, no brokerage, no one is gonna care if you took the test one time. No one is gonna care that you took the test 10 times. Like, seriously, you're making it a much bigger problem than what it really is. On top of that, the percentages, guys, you only need a 70% to pass the federal and the state. Stop stressing about, oh my gosh, a 70, that's a C. Like, I need to get a B, I need to get an A. Like, no one, again, is gonna care about your percentages when you go interview for a brokerage. Every brokerage that I've talked to or interviewed has never once asked me, well, how many times did it take you to pass the test? Or how many, what was your percentage on your test? No one cares about that. And I have never had a client go, how many times did it take you to pass your exam? What was your percentages? No one cares. I cannot stress that enough. So that's why it's right here under stop stressing. No one cares. The main point here that I can stress about is you passed. Be thankful. You're done. You're over with. You never have to look at it again. You never have to take it again. But just be happy that you passed. Another thing I want to bring up, because I think about this when people are stressing about tests, or when I used to stress about tests. I mean, we've all done it, right? I remember hearing that old saying, like, oh, well, some people are just really good test takers. I so believe that. Because there are times where I have taken tests and I've scored super bad, or it was just not for me, but I knew the information. I knew, like, sometimes you psych yourself out so bad, or you start doing the second guessing, or the other, whatever is going on. Maybe you had a really bad day and it just messed with you. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you don't retain the information or you don't know what you're doing. It's literally because some people can really horn in on their anxieties, or, just go in with a clear head when that day maybe you didn't. So factor that in when you are trying to clear your mind and take a deep breath, because you got this. Knowing that not putting that extra pressure about percentages or passing or how many times I gotta take it is really going to help filter out that anxiety, guys, that you're gonna have already as taking a test. Like, of course it's nerve-wracking. Of course it's something. You are trying to further yourself. You are trying to better your situation. You are trying to achieve a goal. So yes, it's gonna be hard. Yes, you're gonna be anticipating the results. You're gonna be anxious. You're gonna be, everything under the sun. But maybe thinking about it, understanding it, creating a plan is gonna help calm you down, take a deep breath, and relax. The third thing I want to talk about is spaced repetition. Now, what is spaced repetition? This is actually something that I retained from Prep Agent, which we talked about first. So basically, spaced repetition is breaking up the information in small chunks and reviewing them constantly. So I kind of mentioned this in the very first thing of creating your study plan. You're going to be breaking up all the information. I categorized everything, and then I threw it on a calendar and put it in the different days. So I had a category for Monday, I had a category for Tuesday, because I have 7 days to complete a section. I also used flashcards. I wrote this because you're going to get a lot of vocabulary words, and putting those vocabulary words on a flashcard. Like, I wish I've moved, we moved twice since I took the exam, and I actually had someone reach out to me who was talking to me. This is obviously years ago, and were asking me about studying for their exam and trying to do it. So I gave them all my books, all my notes, and my stack of flashcards to help them out. So I don't have any of it to show you guys, but I can definitely tell you about it. Breaking down the I'm sure you guys have used this. I actually used that technique in high school. I remember studying for spelling bees and spelling words, English for definitions and learning that. It's the same thing. I threw everything on the flashcards, and then you just run through them for review. Say that 3 times fast. The number 3 thing, which is know your vocabulary. I cannot stress this enough. How many times are we gonna say stress in this video? Let's count, guys. Knowing your vocabulary literally is the foundation to passing your federal and state exam for real estate and learning those acronyms. And the acronyms will seriously help you to understand the concept or understand the vocabulary. Like, it all just ties together, but vocabulary and acronyms are the 2 things. Throw them on flashcards, like we said previously. Just repetition, review. Get an accountability partner, guys. Get on the phone and do back and forth, like ask each other words if you don't have somebody at home, or maybe get one of your friends to help you. Kind of make it into a game. I'm more of like a game player. Like, obviously I have boys, I have kids, like we're always constantly playing games. I do video games and we do board games. So I kind of made it into a game, like a memory game. So I'd write the words and an acronym on one flashcard, and then I'd have a definition or whatever the acronym was on another card, and then I would place those out face down, and then as I would pick them up, I'd be like, okay, do these match, and I'd get them to match that way. So that was my own little quirky game that I played, but that helps me because that's how I learn. I try to make everything fun, because there are certain things of any aspect where you're like, yeah, I have to do that, and that doesn't seem like fun, or something that I really want to do. So I kind of twist it into something where I'll be like, you know what, I want to do that. Let's turn it into something that Linda wants to do. So the 4th and final thing that I want to talk to you guys about is stay focused during the test. There is going to be a lot going on. You're going to have 4 hours to complete both tests. There's 100 questions on the state, there's 100 questions on the federal, and literally, guys, there's no stopping. As soon as you're done with the state, it's going to jump you right into the federal. You can take bathroom breaks. I would highly suggest it. If you are finding yourself second guessing yourself, if you're finding yourself getting stressed out, like, just take a deep breath and breathe. Take those breaks as needed so that you can regroup and focus. Also, guys, when you go in to do the test, they are literally not going to allow you anything other than the scratch piece of paper that they give you and a pencil. Well, for me, when I went in there, because you were allowed, before I even started the test, I was allowed to jot down anything on the scratch paper. So as I'm sitting there waiting, I just started writing down some acronyms that I remembered, like just things that were going in through my head, maybe something that I had studied the night before, or maybe that morning that I had just quickly gone through and I didn't want to forget it. So I literally just started jotting down, and then some of the formulas for some of the math that we learned. So I literally was just quickly going as fast as possible to get it down before the test started. So that way I'm not sitting there during my 4 hours of allotted time to finish these exams worrying about what I'm going to put on my scratch paper. Because I noticed, like, during the exam, if I had questions where I'm like, okay, this one's stumping me and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, because literally I just wanted to get through the confident ones where I was like, oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one. Answer those. Any ones that I started to question or take some time on, I literally wrote the number down at the very, very top, what number it was, even though it'll keep track for it, just for my own peace of mind in case, you never know, something could glitch. But I just wrote it down so I know, okay, that one I have to come back to later, and then just kept going. And then at the end of it, then I'm like, okay, now I know how many I need to go back to, make sure that it's pulling me back to the right ones. And then I use my scratch paper for anything that I needed for those. So you do have front and back on the scratch paper, by the way. Also on these wonderful questions, which is why I say just get through the confident ones, is because they are going to try to trick you. They put all this fancy mumbo jumbo jargon and all, oh my god, oh my Lanta, it is crazy. They put all this stuff in there to make you second guess yourself. It's like stating the question and then they add a little thing and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Because like as you're reading it, there'd be times where I'd read the question and I'm like, halfway through the question, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what this is. My brain's already pulling what the answer is. And then I finish the sentence and my brain's like, there's some words in there that stump me. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know this. I usually say, go with your gut, go with your first instinct. But of course your brain doesn't want to do that all the time. So that's why I say, if you're not 100% sure, move on and then come back to it, because it'll give you time to like rethink, refocus, and maybe you'll read it in another way. And also, knowing your vocabulary and knowing your acronyms will help with that, because you'll know the verbiage or you'll know a certain word and you'll be like, wait a minute, that doesn't even correlate, like that doesn't make sense. So it has to be this. I also use my scratch paper to rewrite the question in my own words. If I was really stumped, I'm like, okay, what are they actually asking me? So I would rewrite the question and how I interpreted it, and then look back on it and be like, okay, do these match up? Is there, when I ask myself that, is there an answer that matches up now? And I'm like, oh, yes, or oh, maybe I am interpreting that wrong. Just don't read too much into it, but try to do it that way so that you can get clear in your mind what you think they're asking you, and then you should be able to find the answer. Go with your gut, go with your first instinct. If you are struggling on something and you start going back, do not go back over everything and start second guessing yourself. It will cause you to lose time, you'll lose focus, you're gonna be so caught up in second guessing yourself that you're not gonna be able to move forward and pass the exam or even finish it. So if you find yourself doing that, maybe that's when you should be taking a break and go take a breather. Okay guys, so that is it. Congratulations, you have passed your real estate exam, right? Hopefully these tips and tricks will help you. I know it helped me get through it. I know it seems like a lot. I know it's easy to stress over things, but hopefully you create that strong study plan. You stop stressing. Remember, there's the last stress, right? Oh no, that was the last stress. No, oh, I could do that all day. We'll count at the end of this video how many times I say stressed. Do the spaced repetition, know your vocabulary, and just stay focused during your exam, and you will do beautifully. So I wish you guys all the luck in the world if you're preparing, if you're ready, if you are starting to look into real estate. I have a whole mini series on how to get your license. Hopefully this will help you guys move forward, take the jump. You know, you can start today. As always, guys, please continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It's right there. You just hit it. It goes on notification. You are good. And of course, if you're looking to make a move, or if you're looking for a brokerage to go to and you want to know more about EXP and the Wolf Pack, let me know in the comments below. Send me a message. You can hit me up on TikTok, Instagram, my Facebook business page, and of course right here on YouTube. So if I don't see you guys around Denver, I will definitely see you on my next video. Bye.